Morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody's safe and well during this time. My name is Mr. Ibude. I am one of the lead tutors for Enlightened Tutors. So before we even dive into today's lesson, if you have a child that's in high school or in middle school and they need tutoring, especially given that they are not doing remote learning, definitely check out Enlightened Tutors. We have a bunch of tutors here who are highly trained in English, highly trained in math, history, SAT prep, college readiness essays. So if you have high school students or middle school students, definitely check us out so that we can provide you the services that you need. With no further ado, let's dive in. Let's just say dive in. Let's dive into survey tips and tricks. Yeah, let's do it. Now, surveys. A lot of y'all have heard about surveys, especially after a phone call with Bank of America or Chase or one of those customer services. Usually they ask you leave a survey at the end of the phone call. And some people, if you're guilty like me, some people don't do the survey. But surveys are very important. Surveys are important. Surveys provide meaningful insight about a given question. Surveys are responsible for most of the products we use today in the systems that we have. Like if the McDonald's didn't ask you if they should keep the McChicken or not for another 2 weeks, they probably would not have kept that McChicken if the people didn't respond in the survey. Okay, so with no further ado, let's jump right into pre-testing your survey and why that's important. Let's dive right into it. Now, pre-testing your survey. It's a good idea to pre-test your survey with a few people before you release your survey. And the goal around why you should pre-test your survey, one, you want to make sure that there's no errors. You want to make sure that there's no potential questions that the survey takers might have. So pre-testing your surveys just ensures that everything is great to go with your survey and you know what you're researching and you know the data that you were trying to collect. So let's dive into one of the surveys a high school student did, and then we're gonna break it down to pinpoint some of the things that they did well and some of the things that they need to work on to make sure that their survey is ready to go. Now, this survey, off the back, looking at the survey itself, lateness to school, there's no question. There's no question. But that's not the topic for today. So let's dive into the questions. Now, question number one, what grade are you in? Ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. Looking at that question, there seems to be no error. So let's continue on with number two. Question number two, what borough do you live in? Queens, the Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, Brooklyn, Harlem. Hmm. Hmm. There's something off about this. There's something off about this. Before I say, what did you notice? As you can see, one of the lines, the red line is underneath one of the errors. Yes, Brooklyn is spelled wrong. Brooklyn is a borough, it is spelled wrong. So double checking the spelling of the words in your survey, because again, you want the reader or the survey doers to know that you know what you're talking about. All right. Now, what is the second error? Yes, Harlem is not a borough. Harlem is not a borough. It's okay. It's all right. This is why we're pre-testing this survey now, so that when you want to do your own survey for any future things, you know exactly why you should pre-test your survey. Question number three, how do you travel to and from school? Whoa. So error of the back form is supposed to be from. Easy, short, peasy. Number four, how long is the commute to and from school? 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I don't see no errors on this yet. So let's continue going to question number five. Do you agree that it is ridiculous that there's no school helicopter and that DPHHS should provide one? Yes or no? Is there any error in this question? Is there any error in this question? Hmm. If you said no, yes, there's no error in this question in terms of looking at pre-testing your survey. Again, to recap, the points of pre-testing your survey is to just ensure that the audience member know exactly what you're talking about and there's no confusion. Okay. And some of the ways you can pre-test your survey is by giving the survey to the intended audience to see if there's any questions they might have about the survey. You spell checking your work to make sure that questions are accurate also. Before I go, I want to quickly look at question 4 and 5 real quick. 4 and 5, even though there's no error really, these two questions is not the best questions. Looking at question number four, the options are too restrictive. When I say the options are too restrictive, if I was the survey giver and I was writing this survey, I will give an option for less than 1 hour and an option for 4+ hours. I do not want the audience member who's doing the survey to feel restricted in their options. Okay. And question number 5 is a bias and leading question. So do you agree that it is ridiculous that there's no school helicopter and that DPHHS should provide one? Yes or no? It's a bias and leading question. And I know I didn't dive into what is a bias and leading question, which is why next time, if you're following this, make sure you follow Enlighten Tutors to keep track of what lessons are being posted. If you're interested in tutoring for high schoolers or middle school, check out Enlighten Tutors, all right, on their Instagram as well. My name is Mr. Ibude. Thank you for checking out Surveys with me. Peace!